This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com, and today we have one of the most requested guests, former WWE Intercontinental Champion, former WCW Superstar, Global Wrestling Federation star, Ahmed Johnson. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, brother. How about you?
I'm doing great. I was a big fan of yours when I was growing up. I saw you live many times.
Thank you.
I understand you had a very rough childhood. You lived in a lot of different states. I guess your father was abusive. Was that really tough for you?
Yes, sir, it was, and the older you get, the more it seems to come in play because you don't forget it.
And as far as sports, when did you start to get into sports?
Um, from early on, man, I played a little bit of Pee Wee League football, and that was it. I was hooked.
And as far as wrestling, I understand Ivan Putski actually discovered you in the gym.
Yes, sir. I'm Husky, and he told me he'd open up wrestling school down here. Me, Stevie Ray, and Booker T, we all went to his wrestling school. He
What
trained
wa-
all of us.
what was he like? Such a legend in wrestling.
He was a hardcore hard ass man. He was rough, but he was good.
Did you have much contact with his son Scott, who never really ended up making it too big?
I had contacted him a lot when we were training.
Okay. And then you went straight to GWF, I guess?
Right, global. After I did a few independent shows, I went global.
I'm pretty good friends with James Beard. Did you get along with him?
Yeah, I got along with James Beard.
Was Bradshaw around when you were in Global?
Yes, sir.
How was he back then?
He was just Bradshaw, man. He was out there. He was very stiff. Talking about his shooter, and that's it. Me and him had a match, man. That was all shoot, basically.
Did you run into him later in WWE as well?
No, when he was coming, I was going.
Okay. You started in wrestling pretty late. Did you always think you were going to make it because of your size? Because we know that WWE often likes to take people when they're younger.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. I knew by athletic ability, I was, touched by none as far as that goes.
Right.
But for my size, but outside of that, I wasn't sure what was going to happen.
As far as your lifts, what was your best ever squat, bench press, and deadlift?
My best bench press, I would say, was like 525.
Oh, wow.
My best deadlift, I don't remember, and my best squat, I didn't squat, man, because it tears up your knees.
Right. You did leg press, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Were you actually in the military and punched out your captain, or is that just a rumor?
No, that's the truth. I didn't punch him out. I just hit him once.
Okay.
But he went down, and I guess they call that punching him out. But hey, it is what it is. But yeah,
Th-
I graduated most distinguished honor graduate out of the military. And
Oh, wow.
that's when you graduate number one out of 2,000 soldiers, you graduate number one, top of the class. And I was thrilled by that, man. But the punching didn't come till after that.
Yeah, I understand it was because he wanted you to do something that you thought was cowardice or something.
Right? Something I thought was unlawful order.
Okay, so that's why they didn't court martial you out of it.
Right.
Okay. As far as Vince
They, they,
McMahon.
did, they did put me in stockade now. They did lock me up in stockade.
Oh, really? How was that
Oh, yeah.
experience?
The best experience you could have, bro. It was fun.
Oh, yeah.
It was so fun, man. We get up in the morning, we do PT. After PT, do what you want to do. Then they take us all on a group trip, like to bowling alley or the movies. It was amazing.
And you're still paid for that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the military is amazing. You go to jail in the military, have fun, man.
Yeah, I was in the Canadian one for a short period and it wasn't as fun as that. I don't remember any bowling
Oh,
trips.
yeah, yeah, but we had a good time.
Who recruited you into WWE? I heard it was Vince McMahon himself.
Well, Vince gave me the call, but Michael Hayes is the one that got me up there.
Okay.
Michael Hay, I had a match with them in Global, and he told me after the match, he said, "Man, you should be in WWF." He said, "I'm gonna get you up there. You watch." And I'll be damn. I phoned in the ring one time, and Vince McMahon called me.
Is it
Your
tr-
work.
is it true just before you get off Global that you knew Dick Murdoch there as well?
Yeah, Captain Redneck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
Black
true?
Bart.
Oh, Black Bart as well.
Yeah, Captain Redneck, Black Block, Crazy Mike.
How was Dick Murdoch to you? Because Tony Atlas alleged he was in the KKK. Did you ever experience anything like that from him?
He never said anything to me, or I never really talked to him, and he didn't talk to me, so he may have been.
Right. But he wouldn't have messed with you anyways at your
No, I don't
size.
think so. I don't think so.
So when Vince McMahon contacted you after Michael put you in touch, he flew you up to Connecticut. How was that experience?
Oh, that experience was great, man. That was great. He flew me to Connecticut. They put me at their penthouse suite. It was unbelievable, man.
They made you an offer right there without a dark match or anything?
Well, I had already did my dark matches.
Okay.
I did my dark match earlier that week in Texas, somewhere you're at, and yeah, from there, he just loved me, man.
Was Bill Watts still around at that time too?
Yes, yes, Cowboy Watts was still there.
Did he really take a liking to you as well?
I think he did, but he came up with some dumbass names. They didn't want to name me.
Okay. What were some of those suggestions?
One was Buck something. Back in slave days, they called the big black man the Buck.
Okay.
So it was like Buck something. I mean, it's just ignorant racist names.
So did you come up with Ahmed Johnson?
Me and Vince.
Okay.
Ahmed is a name that means worthy of praise. And Johnson was the most used slave name back in the slave days.
Right. Yeah, I remember I went to a school with a lot of Muslims back when you were getting your push, and a lot of them were named Ahmed, and they were all like thinking. I don't know if you are. I don't think you are Muslim, but they were thinking like you were like a Muslim hero.
I got the same thing when I went to Kuwait, man. They thought I was Muslim, and I didn't tell them any otherwise. But if they'd have asked me a question, I'd have been probably my head chopped off because I didn't know anything.
Was that the tour that Vader got in trouble?
Yeah, the same one.
Were you guys scared that somehow you might all be in trouble out of that, or I hear it was pretty tense?
Yeah, I was hoping not, man. But yeah, they had soldiers at his door and everything, guarding him and everything, man. It was weird.
Yeah, and when I interviewed him, he told me that they tried to set him up in different ways during that time too, to
Oh,
like,
did they?
yeah, like offer him like tempt him with women and stuff, which would have been like serious trouble there.
Yeah, against their religion.
You had a couple matches with him, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, how was that? Must have been pretty stiff.
it was a shoot match all the way, brother. But you know what though? What I liked about it, it was done with respect. And I was back in the locker room, and Vader comes back there, and he says, "Ahmed, you ready for the match?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready for the match." He said, "All right, Drake, I'm gonna lay him in there." And when he said that, I'm like, "You gonna lay him in there? What the hell does that mean? Are you gonna hit me for real?" And so I got in the ring with him. The first punch he gave me, man, was boom. I mean, run my ear socket. Then that's when we went into the shoot, man. We just shot the whole match.
Yeah, that's great. That doesn't happen anymore. It's all
Yeah,
set up.
exactly. It's so fake looking now, though.
Yeah,
That looks fake now.
you got to memorize everything. That seems like it would be tough to memorize all those spots that they do. It's such a fast pace.
Oh yeah,
Now I know you had a lot of backstage heat, and I understand why. I fully understand why because I can hear it when these people are talking about you in the shoot interviews. A lot of them were jealous
yes,
of the push that you got right away. Did
yes,
you
sir.
feel that as soon as you got in the dressing room?
Brother, when I first got there, I felt it. I went out. I was going out to the ring. Everybody was around the monitor. I got to tell you, they want to see what this big boy can do. It was my tryouts, and everybody was around the monitor. So they got to see me, and nobody said nothing to me. And then I get to the show, television show next day, and Vince tells me he wants me to slam Yokozuna. And I'm like, is that even possible? And so I went and told Yoko, that Vince wanted me to slam him. And when somebody slams you like that, you give them a jump for him. Okay, Yoko looked at me and said, well, go ahead, man. I'm not jumping for you. I was like, what? He said, I'm not jumping for you. I said, okay. When he said that, man, he got a fire burning inside me. That's when I knew I was going to get him up. I got that ring, and he did not jump, not 1 inch. But I got him up anyway and slammed him.
That's amazing. Because Lex Luger had problems slamming him.
Yeah, Luger first of all, he was 200 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
Second of all, it was more of a hip toss with Luger than a slam.
Yeah. Yeah, yours was more the full up and down.
Oh, yeah, right in the middle.
I understand you and Yoko got along, though, overall after a while, didn't you?
Yeah, after a while, me and Yoko got along real good.
I mean, I heard this story. I don't know if it's true or not. D'Lo Brown said you went after him with a paint can at one point. Is there any truth to that?
Brother, I don't know where D'Lo and Karma getting this from. It's funny, something like that happened, and none of the dirt sheets hear about it. You guys don't hear about it. None of the boys in the locker room heard about it or seen it, but he beat me up in the locker room. Give me a break, man.
Yeah. I mean, I saw him in those days too. He was a lot smaller than he is now,
Yeah.
but you'd think that would have been huge news if that fight had happened.
If he would have done that, Vince would have pushed him over me. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the interview where supposedly he said Jim Ross sat you guys down after, and he was claiming that Jim Ross was looking at you, basically saying if there's any more behavior like that, you'd be gone, which didn't really make much sense because you were the star back then.
Yeah. Brother Vince, I don't remember. That did not happen. Jim Ross did not sit us down and talk to us about no supposed to be fight. I don't know why he's making this stuff up. I guess he wants to be relevant, man.
Yeah, what I found weird about that interview was he said he liked you, and then he proceeded to take 5 minutes to just bash you. Yeah.
I don't know what's up with him, man. I really don't. I don't know what's up with that locker room crap. Everybody would have seen it, but you can't get nobody that's seen it except for Kama and Farouk, so they say. And now Big Dumb Mark Henry's saying he wasn't even in there.
Yeah, where did that Mark Henry heat come from? Because I heard a story, and I don't believe this because I've seen interviews with you, and you don't seem like the type that's going to try to spike somebody's drink, but he was alleging you tried to put somas in his drink or something.
What would be the purpose of putting somas in his drink? I don't even understand that. I'm going to take him home and rape him or something? I mean, come on, McGill Gorilla, he can stand more than that.
And you don't have a reputation of that. I mean, we've heard that several people back there had a reputation of it, like the Kurt Hennings and the Rockers in the day, but there's no Ahmed Johnson was known for soba people. Or
I don't even know what to do with somas. Yeah. Well, that's put him in his drink. If I can put him in his drink, I would have got probably a Halcyon or something going to knock his ass out right away. But what purpose would I be doing that for? Once again, somebody trying to make up a story to get, make himself more popular.
And I think it's true. You were much more popular for the short run you had. Like Mark Henry never reached that level of popularity. He had a longer run, but when you were over, you were incredibly over. Yes. I mean, he never reached that. He ended up with a longer run and he had success, but there's definitely would have been jealousy when he first came in and you're this big star, and we know how it works with the races. Like there's not that many jobs for black people at that time, right? They had a certain amount. Is that how it worked? Because that's what Tony Atlas was saying. You
know the distaste about that is
What's that?
It's a it's a fact that instead of the black wrestlers getting together trying to help each other, it was the total opposite. They seen me go to the top and it was like crabs in a barrel. They try to pull me down, because I didn't want me to become the first black champion. So they try to pull me back down to the barrel, and it was the black wrestlers doing it. I mean,
Yeah,
I can Savio Vega tell you the truth. If you ever talk to Savio, it's like Savio Vega, man.
I will ask him. I've talked to him before. I will ask him. But yeah, it's just like people from Canada. Canada people are in competition with themselves a lot of the time, and it's same with you guys. Like that's how it is in wrestling. They don't build each
Exactly.
other up. There's a fan on here that wants to know any thoughts on Sunny, who's been in the news a lot lately. I guess she goes to trial later this month.
I'm not surprised. Sonny was a very loose girl backstage. So I mean, I'm not surprised that she got herself into trouble that she can't get out of this time.
We've always heard about the Shawn Michaels and Sunny relationship backstage. Shawn alluded that Brett was with her, and it seems like they were good friends. Did you ever notice anything with Brett and Sunny?
No, I never seen Brett do anything with Sonny or heard of Brett do anything with Sonny. And we would have heard about that right away too. But no,
Right.
that's not true, man. Brett didn't do nothing with Sonny. That was Sean.
Okay. Yeah, I heard Road Warriors. The Road Warriors may have, one of them may have been too, but who knows?
It may have been. I don't know, brother. I know Brett didn't do it though.
Good to know. How was your experience teaming with the Road Warriors?
It was good, man, with me and Hawk. Now, me and Animal, I don't know, we didn't see eye to eye, and I think he thought I was taking his place or something. Because what Hawk did was when we were off, we used to go do the independent shows,
Right.
and Hawk would take me with him and not Animal.
Okay,
So I think that brought some heat between me and Animal.
that makes sense. There's a fan on here that says wrestlers are spreading rumors that you would go around to tables at restaurant and eat other people's food, which makes no sense. Have you ever heard this?
Oh boy.
You would have been pretty rich at this point, right?
I was making close to $50,000 a show.
Yeah.
So if I had to do something that drastic, man, I would have just begged Vince for some more money. But no,
Yeah.
making $50,000 a show, brother, you don't have to go around asking nobody for the scraps.
No,
Jesus Christ.
for some reason and I think it's jealousy because as I said, I know you were over, I was there for that period. I was in high school. Like people just love putting you down for whatever reason. I
Right.
don't know what it is. Someone's asking, was Stone Cold really a tough guy like his character in your opinion, or what's your opinion of him?
Not at all, man. He wasn't a tough guy. I mean, he was cool backstage, but no, he wasn't nowhere near tough. If we had a fight backstage, I wouldn't pick Stone Cold to fight for me.
Who would you have said would have been one of the toughest back there? I know probably not Ron Simmons that a lot of people say. I know you probably wouldn't agree with that.
Um, Ron was pretty tough. I think the toughest guy to fight would have been Vader.
Okay. Just strong and full of power, I guess.
Yeah, he got that second gear that he can kick in, kind of like I do.
And he had that match with Hanson where his eye was all puffed up and he continued the match.
Right.
So yeah.
Well, if you get the match with Stan Hansen, and hey, you've earned your stripes.
And as far as Ron Simmons, I mean, he was an All-American football player. I guess at one point he kicked you in the kidneys and your kidneys burst. Do you
Yeah.
think that was done on purpose
He,
due to
he, he said on a podcast that he did it on purpose, that he was jealous of me. And at least I'm glad that he admitted that he was jealous. But, he said, he been in the business 14, 15 years, and I just been in the business not even one full year, and they, put strap on me. That made a
Right.
lot of people uneasy, and a lot of people very jealous.
What were your thoughts when they gave you the strap for the Intercontinental title?
I was just happy, man, and pleased to be part of history. You know what I'm saying? Become the first African American. I mean, that's history making. and I was very happy, man.
Is it true at one point you were being considered to beat The Undertaker for the title, for the
Yeah, for
world
the
title?
title. Yes, it was.
And your injury or something caused that
Yeah,
not to happen, or what was the
put that
reason?
on the back burner big time.
Yeah. Did you get along with The Undertaker?
Yeah, I got on pretty good with Undertaker.
As far as Ron Simmons, would you guys ever squash your heat, or do you think there's just too much animosity there?
Um, I don't know. Cause Ron's one way on iPods and stuff, but he's another way when he see me.
Right.
He's a cool brother when he see me, but I think Ron is still living the gimmick.
There's a fan on here that wants to know if you have any memories of Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Yeah, I got a few memories of him. Uh, Shawn Michaels, asshole. I don't know what he is now. He claimed he's been reborn and a Christian. If he is, God bless his soul. But he wasn't in my days. And Triple H, man, Triple H and I didn't get along as far as getting along as, hanging out and nothing. But one thing about him, man, he helped me out by calling the match.
Right. Yeah, because he would have been Hunter Hearst Helmsley, I guess, when you guys were having your matches.
Yes, sir. And it's just I was still green when I got there. I mean, I still had a long ways to go and I was still green, and I never claimed to be anything but green. I was a shooter and I was green, and some people complained like a little girl and some people didn't.
What are your thoughts on Teddy Long?
I don't even know that bastard, man.
Okay.
I've never met him in my life.
You're better off because I've met him and he's not trustworthy.
Yeah, that's why I hear he's little bitty snake or weasel.
Yeah. That's,
I never met. He was talking crap trash too, but I never even met this guy. Just like Dutch Mantel said, he was trying to train me. I would listen to him. Dutch Mantel ain't trying to train me doing shit, man. First of all, I wouldn't have done anything with Dutch Mantel. I mean, you're gonna give me somebody to train me. Give me somebody who is up there to teach me how to get to the top.
yeah. Dutch Mantel is a liar in my experience.
Oh yeah, brother. I don't know where he got that shit from. That he was told to train me, and I wouldn't listen to him. That's bull crap.
I mean, he left Bruiser Brody for death. Like, he was
Yeah,
claiming Brody was his friend. Wouldn't you go to the hospital to make sure your friend gets taken care of if you
exactly.
just
I,
got
I
stabbed?
did.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure, like with the life that you've been through, I mean, you've had experiences like that. I
Yes, sir.
I, I, I understand the Ultimate Warrior, who a lot of people were also jealous of. You had a good connection with him.
Yeah, I had real good connection with the Warrior, man. Some people saying I left because something the Warrior told me. That's bull crap. I'm my own man. If I left, it's because I wanted to leave. Warrior had nothing to do with me leaving. I mean, he taught me a bunch of things backstage and told me a bunch of things. Like how one guy can make close to $1 million, and the other guy, because he's black and he's a big star, but they're not paying him right. During that match, one of the stars made close to $1 million, and Kamala, I'll tell you his name, Kamala only made 5,000.
Yeah, Kamala wasn't paid very well overall. I interviewed him before he passed.
Yeah,
Yeah, even in WCW too.
yeah, he was suffering, man. He was suffering.
He had a sad end. So I guess you were kind of paying attention to that as far as your negotiations after talking to the Warrior.
Yeah, the Warrior opened my eyes to quite a few things, man, that wasn't going on right there. But none of them was the reason why I left. But yeah, the Warrior just, I mean, I was surprised when he called the guy. I was walking to the locker room, and he had his own private locker room. And he's like, Ahmed, come over here, man. You're dressed for me. And that's the first time I ever laid eyes on this man. And we got back there, and he started talking, man, while we were getting dressed. And he was just telling me the lowdown, what to watch out for.
Yeah, and I did hear Kamala say that Warrior would let Undertaker or would let Kamala in his limo and stuff like that too. So he wasn't the
Mm-hmm.
big asshole that everyone likes to
No.
point him out to be. Sid is a guy that I've had some experience with. A lot of people don't like Sid either for similar reasons. But
Hmm.
how was your experience?
My experience was he was cool with me, man. I mean, he never did anything cross or say anything cross me that I know of. But I was pretty cool with him.
Like according to him, and I actually believe this, a lot of his heat was because he made more money than like Ric Flair, and all these people held it against him that he was making more money than veterans. So it's probably a similar situation to you. You could probably identify with some of that.
Well, you know the funny about the people being against you, don't hear none of say, man, you did this to me, you hurt me, you did this wrong. It's when I left that all the rumors started. All the rumor and rumor mill started. It started talking and talking and talking.
Yeah, one of the guys I've also heard talk that I hate personally is Jim Cornette. Did he ever say anything to you when you guys were
No, that
backstage?
race. I mean, backstage we do one spot together, and it was him in the ring, but he asked me to let him toss the stuff in the ring, so I did that. But outside that, I didn't have any problem with him at all, man. But once he started talking all this crap. But what do you expect from a racist, man?
Yeah, so you would think that he's a racist, judging by everything that has come out about Cornette over the years.
Yes, yes. And hearing some of the interviews, yes.
Yeah. So what was the actual reason you left WWE?
Well, I was having it was two or three things, man, really at once. My sister was very sick, and I had to, get home to see her real quick. Um, Outside of that, Vince wanted to use an angle where the what are the guys called? The Truth Commission hung me from a rope, and I was like, "No way, I can do that. I can't do that." And all the little black kids and people watching this show see me hanging from a rope. I don't think that would have just been. It wouldn't have been good promotions whatsoever. I just disagreed to do it, man.
So you were still under contract when you left?
When I left, I was.
Okay. So was there? I guess did they let you out when you went to WCW, or how did that work?
But when I walked out, I had a phone call from Vince, asking me what was going on, and I told him it was just too much for me to handle right now. You know, I don't think I can wrestle anymore right now. And he just said, okay.
Okay. I
Yeah,
guess you always had a good relationship then.
yeah, he never gave me any hassle or anything about it.
There's a fan on here that says you did an interview a while ago where you said you would have been open to returning to WWE. Would you still return to wrestling if it was AEW or WWE if they ever asked you to do something?
I probably would, man, but I'm kind of old now, so I don't know if the old man can get around like that no more, man.
Well, AEW pays a lot. They seem to be bringing back the older guys, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, have to be a lot of money for my age, man.
So I understand it was Stevie Ray that convinced you to go to WCW and you were kind of done with wrestling at that point?
Yeah, Steve Ray and Vince Russo.
Okay.
I was at home and Steve Ray called one day and he was like, "Hey man, I need you to come tag with me." I'm like, no man, I don't think so. But me and Steve Ray been through the streets together, man. I mean, we've beaten people up together. Somebody tried to jump on him, I was there. He was there. Um, Take a little quick story. There was five guys outside, five Hispanic guys drinking beer. So I go out there by myself, but I have my handcuffs around my knuckles and my, gun in my sock. And I was trying to, tell them they had to go inside because they can't be drinking outside. And of course, once I said that, they agreed. But then one of them got cocky. Then another one got cocky. And I was like, oh shit. Then all five of them got cocky. So I just started beating the shit out of them with these handcuffs, man, over my wrist. I mean, my knuckles. And then Steve Ray pulled up and said, all he saw was bodies flying. And he's just shooting down there, man, and helped me out, man. We've been through a lot together, man.
Yeah. Are you guys still cool now?
I haven't talked to him in years. Years.
Okay. Yeah, but you still live in Houston, right?
Yeah, so does he.
Okay. You just grew apart, I guess.
Right, right.
So how did you find that WCW run? I can confirm we've had Vince Russo on. He said he was a fan of yours, and he said you just had nuclear heat, and the backstage didn't like you, and he felt bad for you, and he explained that that was one of the reasons why he wanted you in WCW. Did you always have that good relationship with him?
Yeah, I always had a cool relationship with Vince Russo, man. And then that's what happened. Vince Russo called me. And that's when I come up there. And Vince Russo did a lot for me when I was in the WWF, man. So I wasn't going to tell him no. But he's right. When people couldn't stand, they couldn't, the boys backstage couldn't stand, is how I had such nuclear heat with the audience. I come out and the audience just go crazy. And, they never told me if I was babyface or heel. Never told me. Just let me just go at it.
And they didn't give you a garbage man or a plumber gimmick either. They just let you be kind of yourself, but with a different name.
Exactly.
So as far as the Big T gimmick, was that Vince Russo's idea? Who came up with this?
I don't know who came with that crap. I think Stevie did, but
Okay.
I don't know, man. But that was terrible. It was terrible.
Was Booker T all right with you going in there and teaming with his partner? 'Cause I know
No,
Booker was going on his singles run. No, okay.
no, he didn't like that at all. Because we never got along. Even at Ivan school, me and him didn't get along.
Oh, did you go to the same school?
Yeah, we all went to the same school. Me, Stevie, and Booker.
Oh, okay. That's the same high school. That's crazy.
No, not the same high school. The same wrestling
Oh, the
school.
same. Oh, wrestling school. Okay.
Yeah, Ivan Preston trained us all.
Okay. Interesting. So Booker kind of didn't want that angle to go as far as it could have then?
Right. He didn't want that angle to go at all. He didn't want me to be there at all because of the heat we had from Ivan school.
What do you think that Booker T's wife Charmel got in the WWE Hall of Fame before you?
Bro, you mean a whole shame? Man, when you put Donald Trump in a Hall of Fame, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah, I mean, there you should have been. You should be in there. I mean, would you even accept it at this point?
I don't know.
Depends on the payoff, I guess.
Yeah, that would have a lot to do with it. But look, they ain't got a bunch of people there. One Man Gang, Kamal's not in there. Owen Hart's not in there. I mean, come on, man. These are people who are great wrestlers, man.
Demolition and Sid. Sid was WWE champion a bunch of times. It's
Right.
crazy.
Did the Junkyard Dog get in there?
He just recently got in. Yeah,
JYD?
thank God. Yeah, he was deserving.
Yes, he was.
Did you ever meet him?
Yes, I did. Yes,
How
I
was
did.
he?
He was cool, man. He's funny as I don't know what. He was real cool, that guy, man. And I feel as though he should have been the first black champion. And
Yeah.
I'm saying that. As being a black champion, first black champion, I feel as though it should have went to Junkyard Dog. But that just show you how racist they were back in those days.
It ended up being The Rock, right? Was it The Rock?
I'm the first black single champion in history.
Singles, yeah. As far as Intercontinental,
Right.
and then it was Rocky Johnson as the tag team. I think back in the day before that.
Right. It was Tony
So
Evans and Rocky
yeah.
Johnson.
What did you think of The Rock? Did you guys get along backstage?
We got along okay. I mean, I didn't. We really, man, I was real quiet, and that's what they couldn't understand. Like when they come and knock on my door to go party, I wasn't down with smoking weed and taking drugs and stuff like that.
Right.
So I didn't. I would tell them no, I don't want to go party with them. But they took that as me being a prima donna or thinking I'm better than them. Well, no, brother, we just have nothing in common with each other outside of that ring.
Because that was an era where there was no testing, right? They had dropped all the
Right.
testing at that point, so there was the clique. I mean, they've had success, but they were known for the partying too, and a
Oh
lot of the over
yeah.
guys were. Did you have any issues with them, or were they pretty cool with you?
Well, The first time I was there, maybe the first or the third match I was there, Shawn Michaels called me in the office because he was like, he had the Rock's power back in the day. So he called me like in the office and tells me, Ahmed, you're a great wrestler, man. You're an incredible athlete, man. Your athletic is off the charts. He said, but I need you to do me a favor. Stop jumping off the third rope and diving over the rope. Because when I do it, and I'm 200 something pounds and you do it, it just looks more impressive when you do it and it kills my heat. So yeah, he called me back and tried to screw me over, but I didn't listen to him at all, as you can see.
Yeah. Did you ever get hurt off of that?
But diving over the rope?
Yeah.
No, I came close though, a few times.
Yeah, because you would like clear the.
Because when I dive a rope with gold, that's when I landed on my head.
Right.
And still no damage. I got a tough ass head, man.
How was Gold Dust?
He was fun, man. He was fun. Fun guy to be around.
Is it true the kiss that he gave you was a shoot? You weren't expecting it?
No, I wasn't expecting that at all, brother. He was playing a ha-ha on me because we were on live TV, and he knew we were on live TV. I couldn't just get up and get him, I had to go through the scene.
Right.
But when I picked poor Bob Holly up and took that guy through that door, that was a little bit more.
Yeah, what did you think of Bob Holly?
Bob Holly was always cool with me, man. I don't know what people beef is with Bob Holly. But like I said, man, I only can judge a man by the way a man treats me.
Right.
If you treat me like an asshole, then I'm going to treat you like an asshole. If you treat me square, I'm going to treat you square.
I think it was later on in the 2000s, he was like one of the enforcers for Vince, I guess, for people that they wanted to be roughed up, supposedly were policemen or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he would have tried that with you.
No.
But as far as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, I mean, you would have seen them in WCW too. How were they?
Well, I tell you what, I never really talked to Nash. I mean, we just didn't click like that. I mean, we've never been respectful to each other, but we never clicked like that. But Ray, let me tell you something. When I got to WWF, nobody would help me or tell me anything about the business except for Razor Ramon. When I get on my matches, man, Razor Ramon used to be in the back sometimes watching my match, and he critiqued me when I came out.
So he saw something in you.
Yeah, I thought that was real cool, Razor, man. To be the only one there with, a senior, seeing there's a junior wrestler in there and nobody's trying to help him.
Yeah, it's not like today. It's totally different.
Yes, sir. You got schools and everything else, you got to go through.
People and a lot of people are coming in with no experience where
exactly.
You were rare. You were very rare back then to have such little experience and get that massive push. So
yeah, and the audience he had to push me because the audience went crazy. The dark match we did, man, we had the audience stand up on their feet. Me and Rico Suave doing the dark match, and it's just that I know I still have a way to go as far as learning some of the rules of wrestling, but nobody would help me, man.
Do you remember in Canada when the fan jumped in the ring and then he looked at you and then he jumped back off the apron?
Yes, he seen me and Bulldog coming at him. I was coming one way, Bulldog coming the other way. Yeah, he got out of there. He got out of there, brother.
It seems like the British Bulldog was a pretty good guy. Did you get along with him?
Yeah, I got along well with Bulldog, man. Owen and Bulldog, man, we all got along well. They kept playing ha-has on me and not playing back on them. Then they do a dirty one on me.
What would have been a dirty one?
They got the key to my room somehow and went in my toilet and dropped the load and turned the heater on so the smell can go all around the room faster. And I walk in my room after being hot outside, and it's like 90 degrees in my room, and this stink-ass shit smell all over the place. And I was like, you dirty son of a bitch, y'all gonna pay for that.
Yeah, that's about as nasty as you can get.
Yeah.
There's a fan on here that wants to know if you ever wrestled Goldberg.
No, that would be a good match. You mean You mean the white Ahmed Johnson?
That's a way of putting it. Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do that match. Actually, that's
Yeah,
strange.
yeah, they should have, man. 'Cause that would have been a hell of a ticket sale there, boy.
Why do you think they didn't really like give you a good run there? Because you had the initial feud, and then it seemed like you're just maybe collecting a paycheck, like a lot of them did in WCW.
Right. I think that I wasn't in shape, man. I just wasn't the Ahmed Johnson of old.
How was Hulk Hogan backstage?
Hogan, and he didn't say shit to me, but except one time we had the not battle royal, whatever they called it, and I was hitting him, and then we came to the back locker room. He grabbed me and said, "Ahmed, man, let me tell you something." He said, "I was scared as shit when you start walking toward me. That look on your face." He said, "And you started hitting me, I thought I was gonna be died." He said, "But let me tell you something, brother." He said, "Those are the softest punches I ever took."
Wow, that's a good compliment coming from him.
Yeah, coming from Hogan.
Was Eric Bischoff in power at all when you were working there?
Yes.
How did you find him? Because he's known. Some people either liked him or hated him.
I mean, I didn't get know him on that level where I could judge him for anything, but I mean, he seemed like he's all right with me. But I heard other stories too.
Yeah, I haven't heard him say anything negative about you. Jeff Jarrett's one that I've heard say a couple things negative about you, but he wasn't too bad. You had a lot of matches with him.
Yeah.
How did you find him? I think they pushed him in way too hard in WCW.
Yeah, they did. They tried to shove him down people's throats, and they wasn't buying it.
Exactly. But in WWE, he said that they put him with you so he could kind of teach you.
Why everybody said they was teaching me, and nobody told me. Damn. Everybody was my teacher, but nobody told me they were there to teach me. Dude, I would have accepted it, man. If I even not liking the cat, I would have accepted.
This story I actually just heard before I did this interview. I was searching your name up. There's a new one. You might not have seen this. Jake the Snake saying that there was a meeting that was supposed to happen between you and him in Indianapolis before a show, and you came late. And when he said, "Why were you late?" you apparently said, "I can come whenever time I want." Do you remember anything like that?
Well, I don't remember nothing like that. Jake Snake asking me anything.
He was supposed to teach you or something before the show.
No, that's not true at all, brother.
Okay.
Now, first of all, I was always on time, and to have a old veteran like that teaching me, man, that would have been one of the highlights of my career. But no,
Yeah.
he never did. He's like the rest of the boys. He were upset that I got a push so big and so soon.
And the one story, I'm just having you clear this stuff up because a lot of people will see this, and I'll put it in clips too, but there's a story of Jim Cornette saying that you went to some NWA show and after your WWE run and a limo wouldn't show up to pick you up, so you refused to wrestle, so you flew all the way from Texas to not even get paid. I know that can't be the real story.
No, let me tell you what happened was, this promoter, I told them before I even got down there, to have my money, and I'll be there on your own time. I'll be there for the family. So I flew down here to show him good faith. I flew down there, and all of a sudden, nothing's happening the way he said it's going to happen. No money, no nothing. You don't pay my money first, I'm not doing it. So he refused to pay my money. So you're right. I got back on that plane and went right back home.
And yeah, independent shows, I can tell you guys, promoters rip you off all the time. So you're not joking around. So basically, I mean, it's not uncommon for wrestlers to ask for limos. Bret Hart had it when we booked him here. Some wrestlers have that, but you're saying it wasn't that. The promoter was just using it as an
No,
excuse.
it wasn't that at all. The problem was he did not have my money before he come and pick me up. And I told him and the driver, have my money when you come here to get me. And I got there and they didn't have the money. That tells me one, two things. You ain't got the money or you just bullshitting on paying people. So I got back on that plane and went right back home.
You never really did that many independents, did you? Were you just done with wrestling after WCW?
Yeah, I was burnt out with it, man. Just all the bullshit I went through backstage and everything else I just got burnt out with it.
I'm going to assume you probably got paid pretty well in WCW as well for them to drag you back into wrestling.
Yeah, they pay pretty good, man. That way I have to eat off other people's plates.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I never believed that.
They said the same thing about Mankind.
Him, I believe that might be possible, knowing his cheap reputation, but I never heard that about you.
Yeah, no, Mankind used to do that. I can tell you that firsthand. You used to do that, but me, come on, man, give me a break.
There's a fan on here wondering about your action figures. Do you have a favorite action figure of all of the ones that have come out?
I like the new one that came out, the Tony Norris one.
Cool. What collection put that one out?
I think Hasbro.
Hasbro. Cool.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite match? Obviously, I know Intercontinental title victory might be up there.
My favorite match of all time was the Intercontinental one. But if you're going off, from a title match, my favorite match of all time was with Vader.
Cool. I'm gonna have to look that one up.
Yeah, brother, we shoot on that. When the fans went crazy, it's like they could feel me, man. And that's what kept the fans so hyped with me. It's like they can feel me, when I start getting fired up, and I just had that reach out to the fans, the X factor. No, I wasn't the best wrestler there. I'll admit that. And yeah, I was a little stiff. I'll admit that too. But it's what the fans wanted to me, and the fans got what they wanted.
The best wrestler are the ones that pop the fans the most, in my opinion.
Exactly.
It's not how good you are at fake technical wrestling, because that doesn't even mean you're tough in real life.
Right. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure Dean Malenko wouldn't win in a fight against you, even though he can fake technical wrestle better than you.
Exactly. That's exactly. And the only person that I can say backstage, like I said, I don't give a shit about him, but if I had a street fight, I would give. One's Ron Simmons, another one is the Hawk, Psycho Sid, and that's probably about it.
Were you there for the Brawl for All? Or were you
match was that?
When they had the guys box with Bart Gunn doing it and all that? I guess you were probably gone by then.
Yeah,
it must have been just after you left. There's a fan on here that remembers you wrestling Tracy Smothers in USWA. He wants to know if you remember that match.
Yes, I do. That was way back when, but yeah, I remember it.
There's another fan on here. I know you worked with Crush. He wants to know your thoughts on Crush, who's passed away.
Man, let me tell you something. You talk about one of the coolest guys that you can run into was Crush. And I'm not saying that because he's dead. If he was an asshole, I would say he was an asshole. But that was one of the coolest cats I ever met in my life.
Did you ride with anyone, or were you riding on your own usually?
Well, I rode with Crush a few times. I rode with Vader. I rode with Yokozuna, Fatu, and even me and Farouk did a few trips together.
So the heat with Farouk wasn't until later then. You guys were all right at the start.
No, I didn't hear any. At the start, we had heat. When he kicked my kidney,
right.
And then that street fight where I slammed him through the table, and his rib broke and punched his lung. So as far as I was concerned, we was even as far as that goes. You put me in the hospital, I'll put you back in the hospital. But outside of that, man, I thought we were pretty cool until I left and started hearing these damn punk-ass interviews.
Yeah, and most of these people wouldn't say anything to your
Man, they
face.
wouldn't say a word to me. They probably whipped out my bats and told Vince like little girls. But no, they didn't say a word to me, brother, about it. Nobody, and I mean nobody, except Razor Ramon, ever told me anything about my match.
Did you have an agent that took a liking to you or anything that helped you out?
No, I didn't. I didn't want any agents or anything.
I'm
I
gonna
have
get
one now, but I
okay.
didn't have one then.
Oh no, I mean like the Pat Patterson types backstage, or the
Oh,
Tony Gurria types, guys like that.
no, I was kind of hooked to the hip with Briscoe.
Okay.
I was kind of hooked up to him, but I mean, he didn't really give a shit one way or the other what happened to me. Michael Hayes probably had more to say about it than he did.
Do you have any stories about Michael Hayes? Because I know he's a pretty crazy guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't ever get to hang out with him or anything, man. It's just that match we had, and that's about it.
How would you say Mark Henry was in the gym? Did you ever get to work out with him? Obviously, he's a power lifter, but how
We,
was he by the time he's wrestling?
well, we went in there, and I was bench pressing, and I first met him. I was bench pressing, and I thought he was going to jump in with me, but he wouldn't because the weights were too high. Now he got me beat on everything else, but the weights were a little too much for him on that bench.
Another guy that came in around the same time as you that I know is one of your detractors is Shane Douglas. Do you remember him at
Oh,
all?
yeah, I remember Shane.
How
I,
was he backstage at that time?
I really don't know 'cause I didn't hang out with him either, but I spoke to him probably about a month or two ago at one of our autograph signing sections.
Okay.
And he was cool as ice, man.
Yeah, so it's all just probably for interviews and people wanting to get views then.
Would he say something?
I guess you guys came at the same time and he felt because he was the veteran,
Right.
he and they didn't really push him and he kind of flopped, I guess you could say, as Dean Douglas, but I know he had issues with the click and then you got the major push. Uh, I guess he felt he should have had more of a push like that.
I agree with some of these guys that they should have got a bigger push, but that's not my job, brother.
Right.
My job is to perform in that ring. But I agree with them. A lot of them should got a better push than what they got. But what they didn't have, man, the it factor. They didn't have that factor when they walked through the ring that the energy from the crowd could feel your energy and my intensity. That's what the crowd loved.
I'm going to guess you don't watch it at all now, do you?
Basically, no, I might turn to it out the blue, but I don't watch it.
Is there anyone that you think is any good today that you'll actually stay and watch a couple matches of if you see them on TV?
Well, you know who I wish I was there for now in Carasso, but I'm too old, is Brock Lesnar. I think me and him
Oh
would have had
yeah,
a hell of a good match.
yeah, that would have been a dream match. I agree with
Oh,
that.
yeah.
It's too bad that never happened. What business did you get into after wrestling?
I worked for an oil company called Dress Ram.
Okay, so you had no problem going back to civilian life.
No, sir.
That's good to hear. Is there any of these wrestlers? I mean, we just talked about Crush. So many of them die young, sadly. Is there any
Yes.
that hit you particularly hard?
Owen,
Owen, yeah.
and then Crush from Crush passed away. And Vader. I mean, they all hit me like equally hard.
Were you able to match up with Vader eating with him when you guys were on the road?
Well, what now?
Were you able to eat as much as Vader when he was on the road with you?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Vader and Yoko, you can forget trying to eat them, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But anyway, I didn't have any food. Remember, I was eating out of other people's plates.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't believe that. So you mentioned you have an agent now. Where can people contact this agent if they want to book you for any of these signings?
They can get him on my Instagram or they can hit him on Facebook. His name is Victor Pritchard.
Okay. And for your social media, you're on Facebook, and what else do you have?
Facebook Messenger. That's about it.
That's great. Well, I greatly appreciate you doing this interview. It's nice that you cleared up a lot of
Yes,
this
sir.
stuff.
And thank you for giving me the chance to clear it up, man.
Oh,
I
no
wish we have
problem.
more time to talk about other things, in my life. But hey, next time we'll do that.
Definitely. When you come back again, hopefully we can have a part two and do it again.
Oh yes.
All right, sir. Well, I wish you good night. I'll let you shut this off with whatever you want to say to the fans to close things off.
Okay. Hey, to all my fans out there, thank you so much for the couple of years you supported me. I want you guys to know that these rumors are just rumors. They're just trash talking. And when you hear another rumor, ask the guy, why didn't you tell Ahmed Johnson that in his face? But don't believe the rumors are out there. It's all crazy. Anyway, I'll be signing off. Love you all.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our